covering the entire Piedmont Triad and everywhere you are. WXII 12 News at 5 starts now.
Happening right now on WXII 12 News at 5, honoring our Vietnam heroes. A plane crashes into a Virginia apartment and an Oklahoma twister caught on camera. But new at 5, after a long search, there's a new top cop in Winston-Salem. It was announced this morning that current Assistant Police Chief Barry Roundtree will now head up the department, replacing Chief Scott Cunningham. Margaret Johnson is live tonight in Winston-Salem with the story. Margot?
Well, good evening to you. Well, Chief Roundtree surged to the top of the heap after beating out 2 other finalists for this job. This afternoon, we caught up with a 49-year-old veteran cop, shaking hands and getting well wishes from his team. He has 25 years on the force in Winston-Salem, rising from a beat cop now to chief. The city manager says he is ready to hit the ground running. Chief Roundtree says Winston-Salem is already a good police force, so he doesn't plan to make any major changes. He did tell us, though, one of his top priorities is to restore public confidence in the police department, confidence that has been shaken over the years by police handling of some high-profile cases, like the silk plant forest. Roundtree says the first step is opening up the lines of communication from his office to the community.
I think it's going to take quite a bit of work. I'm not saying that the community is totally against the police department, but it will take some repairing if we're going to have the support of the entire community.
Well, Roundtree takes over his new job on June 30th, and outgoing Police Chief Cunningham, he says, has already given him his support. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Margot. North Carolina House Speaker Tom Tillis says he plans to run for the U.S. Senate seat currently held by Kay Hagan. This makes Tillis the first high-profile Republican to announce a bid against a Democrat in 2014. Tillis is a 4-term legislator in Raleigh. He has led the House since 2011. He plans to file paperwork in Washington next week. Tonight, a traveling memorial honoring those Americans who fought in Vietnam is open to the public. It will be in Rockingham County through the weekend. Rob Wu is in Eden with the story.
Wanda, the emotions here almost as high as the temperature. More than 58,000 names on this wall. The names of those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Names that the people here say will never be forgotten.
Jerry Lane McKinney, Carter Lee Graves.
The full scope of sacrifice on display in Freedom Park in Eden. 6 feet tall, 300 feet long, the Vietnam Traveling Memorial, a grim reminder of the real cost of war. Rockingham County native Pink Joseph Scales says he never got a welcome back when he returned from war. He felt like a lost individual, but events like this let him know it's good to be home.
The wall to me is a healing. I traveled to Washington, D.C. numerous of times. I can get bogged down here at home and I can drive to the wall and just to touch it, I feel weight leaving me.
The wall is open all day and night through Sunday afternoon. I'm Rob Wu, WXII 12 News.
A closing ceremony of the wall is Sunday at 5. 16 people from Rockingham County lost their lives in the Vietnam War.
Well, it was definitely another hot day out there today. 85 degrees, both Greensboro and Winston-Salem. Mostly sunny skies, but you probably noticed a few more clouds out there today than we have seen, and that trend will continue into the weekend, even with some thunderstorms in our weekend forecast. Now, current temperatures, they're in the low to mid 80s across our area. 85 right now in Burlington. Winston-Salem Dash, you're playing tonight at 7 o'clock, hosting now the Carolina Mudcats. Let's take a live look right now at BB&T Field there. You can see BB&T Ballpark, I should say. You can see the Dash getting ready for their game this evening. We should have dry skies for you. The forecast is going to be a bit warm as we start. Low 80s around 7 o'clock, and then we're looking for temperatures later on this evening. So whatever you've got planned for your Friday night, it's going to be warm with a bit of a breeze. Temps will be in the mid 70s by later on tonight. Let's check in with Chris to see how Friday's traffic is moving along.
Well, Lenny, we have a few minor delays in Winston-Salem with an accident at Haynes Mall Boulevard at Stratford Road, along with some slow traffic and as well some slow traffic on 52. Take a look at our traffic camera. You're looking live I-40 at Renneman Road in Greensboro. Things are moving along. Stay updated on Twitter at WXII.
AAA has released its annual bridge report for North Carolina, and several bridges in the Triad made the list, but for the wrong reason. The South Buffalo Creek Bridge at I-40 and Business 85 in Guilford County is the worst bridge in the state, according to that report. It was one of 9 bridges in the Triad to make the top 20 list for structurally deficient bridges. For the complete list, we have a link set up on WXII12.com. Looking ahead to a traffic alert starting tonight and going into the weekend, there will be bridge work on I-40 over the Yadkin River near Clemens. It starts at 8 tonight and lasts until 6 Monday morning. This will be the pattern for the next 3 weekends. This only affects westbound traffic. President Obama plans to visit North Carolina next week. The White House says he'll be in Charlotte Thursday as part of his middle-class jobs and opportunity tour. He last visited Charlotte for the Democratic National Convention. He made a stop in Nashville back in February, the day after the State of the Union address. Well, today the president called on Congress to help prevent a pending hike on student loan interest rates this July. Subsidized loan rates are set to double from 3.4% to 6.8% beginning July 1st unless Congress acts. The president asked Congress today to adjust the change and keep rates down.
Higher education cannot be a luxury for a privileged few. It is an economic necessity that every family should be able to afford. Every young person with dreams and ambitions should be able to access, and now's not the time for us to turn back on young people.
Well, the president and Congress have agreed to peg federal student loan rates to a market-based interest rate tied into the 10-year Treasury note. But the president wants the interest rate to be fixed over the life of the loan, while Republicans want the loan rate to adjust yearly based on market conditions. Tonight, we're learning more about the Allegheny County, Virginia man arrested in North Carolina in his wife's murder. 30-year-old Adon Rodriguez was arrested in Pineville yesterday. He was wanted in the murder of his wife, Ashley, earlier this month. Her body was found in a cemetery in Allegheny County. Well, we've since learned that Rodriguez was a grave digger at the cemetery, and investigators say after shooting his wife in the head, he buried her there. He remains in the Mecklenburg County Jail tonight awaiting extradition. At least 4 firefighters have been hurt in a 5-alarm hotel fire in Houston, Texas. Details on their injuries have not been released. That fire broke out this afternoon at the Southwest Inn. Officials say temperatures in the 90s and high humidity are hampering the firefight. A cause has not been determined. Imagine watching TV in your apartment and a plane crashes right in the living room. Well, that's exactly what happened in Herndon, Virginia overnight. 2 people inside the apartment and a passenger on the plane suffered minor injuries. There was no major structural damage to the building. Right now, 1 person is dead, several more hurt after severe weather hit parts of Arkansas last night. Officials say a man was killed when strong winds in Grant County knocked a tree onto his car. Several buildings were also damaged in that storm. The National Weather Service has confirmed 2 tornadoes touched down in New York earlier this week. The first that hit Schenectady was rated as an EF2. It cut a 17-mile-long path, damaging trees and snapping power lines. The second tornado was an EF1, according to the National Weather Service. Although both caused a lot of damage, fortunately, no one was seriously injured. New video tonight of the tornado that hit Oklahoma yesterday. It touched down in Broken Arrow near Tulsa. There have been no reports of injuries. The Red Cross began surveying the damage this morning. A Texas man is being questioned in connection with the threatening ricin-laced letters mailed to President Obama and New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. The man's wife reportedly contacted authorities. She apparently called after noticing strange material in her refrigerator and recent computer searches for ricin. FBI agents were sent to their home in New Boston, Texas, about 20 miles west of Texarkana. Neighbors say they are shocked and they have never had any problems.
It's definitely a little frightening, but when you think about it, everyone has to come from somewhere, but still it kind of hits home a little more when it could be someone who's just right down the street.
Now, the man in question has not been identified, but authorities say he's an Army veteran and currently a civilian employee at the Red River Army Depot. The man accused of shooting a North Carolina Highway Patrol trooper has been indicted. 23-year-old Michael Brady faces several charges, including attempted murder related to the shooting of Trooper Michael Potts back in February. Trooper Potts was shot 4 times during a traffic stop in Durham. He did survive. Greensboro police are investigating a home invasion and robbery. It happened just after 3 this morning at an apartment on Fountain Manor Drive. The female victims say they were asleep when 2 men broke open the door and robbed them at gunpoint. One of the women was punched in the face. She was taken to the hospital for treatment. North Carolina man faces more charges related to secretly videotaping people inside tanning beds. 30-year-old Thomas Owens was arrested in April in Edgecombe County on 2 counts of secret peeping. Well, now he faces an additional 74 counts after investigators found pictures on his computer. The photos and videos were taken at a fitness center, according to investigators. They say some of his victims were minors. An odd theft out of Fayetteville. 20-year-old Justin Files is accused of using a rock to break into a high school. Authorities say he then stole a ball and lollipops. The value of those stolen items is only $3.02, but he's charged with felony breaking and entering.
You just follow directions and go to each machine and get it done.
From playing with the grandkids to improving the golf swing, coming up on WXII 12 News at 5, we'll fill you in on a study helping seniors in the Triad. Also, the silver anniversary for a local golf charity event, how much money it has raised for a local children's hospital.
And howdy, folks. Kenny Beck live at the Madhouse. I know what you're thinking. It's Friday and the track is quiet. Why are we here? Well, we're here because race fans in the Piedmont are about to be in for a pretty exciting weekend. We'll explain why there are races tonight and races tomorrow next.